So database security. Okay, right. So basically, how we want to provide security for your database means, and why the people are using databases in their companies means. One of the major important factor is what now, not only for handling the large scale data, along with the storing and processing, yes or no, retrieval, integrity mechanisms, okay, and indexing mechanisms. Along with that, one of the very important thing is what now, security. So security is also one of the major important factor why we are using databases in our real-time companies. Okay, no? So now here, but how this security will be provided means, generally all databases, okay, all databases, okay, are supporting, all databases are supporting. There are two types of, okay, security mechanisms here. Okay, there are two types of security mechanisms. Okay, no? So first one we called as, guys, here authentication. First one we called as the authentication, and second one we called as, guys, here authorization. So authentication and authorization, these are the two major security concepts and security mechanisms here, okay, which was going to be providing security for your database. Okay, authentication as well as authorization. So what is the mean by authentication and what is the mean by authorization means? So authentication, simply we can say, guys, here, okay, authentication is nothing but to verify. That means whenever user he was trying to communicate with your Oracle database, or you want to log in into Oracle database, the first thing is what now, the authentication is very important. So authentication is nothing but simply we can say to verify, okay, to verify user credentials, user credentials you need to verify. So what is the mean by user credentials means? We all of you know user ID and password. And let you identify, guys, here. Whenever I want to, every day, can you identify every day? Whenever I want to communicate with my Oracle or else to work on my Oracle, first thing is what now we are going to be login. That means we are connecting to my Oracle database by using of username and password. Yes or no? So every day, are you observed now? Yes or no? Yeah. So first of all, when you want to perform or work on database, first starting the thing is what now we need to connect it. For the connectivity purpose, we need to use some username and password. And who are having username and password, those people only can connecting to your server. That means called a database server. So when you're working in real-time companies also, suppose you're working as a database programmer or developers, okay, or administrators, whatever it is. So when you want to connect to, or when you want to work on your Oracle database or SQL Server database, MySQL, so any kind of database when you want to work on, the first step is what now, that people want to, okay, connect to Oracle with some user ID and passwords. Okay, now, so these user ID passwords are called as a user credentials, we called. Okay, so that will be first verified. Okay, first that will be verified, so that whether the username and the password is right or wrong, so that will be verified. After verification was successfully done, then only your server will give permission to you to enter or to communicate or to connect to your database. Yes, sir. So this is the first mechanism we need to go for to provide security for your database data. Yes or no? So that means without username and password, you can't connect to databases. Okay. In the same to same, nowadays you can see if any websites, almost most of the websites are having login pages are there. For example, Now we can, nowadays we are using Facebook. So if you want to use my Facebook services, if I want to use my Facebook services, definitely we require username and password. So can you tell me guys, without username and password, are you connecting to Facebook? Okay, no, we can't connect it. So any website like Gmail accounts or Yahoo, Hotmails, or some other social networks and some other apps. Okay, so which website was having login pages means compulsory, those are well secured guys here. So those websites and those website services, okay, a user want to use it, okay, then definitely we require user ID and a password. So how it was providing security in the initial step or initial stage before you want to work in, before you want to log in into the websites. Okay, first of all, user ID passwords are very required. So how the security was there for your websites? Okay, same to same, whenever you want to work on databases also, here we required some user credentials, and those are username and password we called as guys. Okay now, right? So this is what we called as a authentication. So that means first mechanism, what is my first security mechanism for this database means authentication mode. So authentication is nothing but to verify user credentials. Okay, username and password. Okay, what you say before. Okay, what you say before. Okay, before. Okay, connect to. So before connected to Oracle database server. Okay, or else even though we can say login to. Okay, we have to say login into system also we can say. Okay now, so this is first thing guys here. So authentication definition will be like this now. Okay, so what is authentication means? Authentication will be nothing but to verify our user credentials. Okay now, right? So this is what we call. Now fine, but sir, these username passwords who will be created? This username password who will be created means okay, so these username and passwords, okay, and password, okay, are created by so one of the person that is called a database administrator. Okay, so in real time, when you go for in real time companies, so these username password who will be created means the person is administrator. Okay, he was only the person, he was having the rights to create a new username, okay, and password. So whenever we want to create some new users in your databases or in your Oracle databases or any other databases, only the person who are having that rights, who are having that right means that person is DBA person only. So database administrator only having that right to create a new user and password. But a normal programmers and normal users, okay, so those people, they don't have it any permissions, they don't have it any rights to create a username and passwords. Okay now, so these username and passwords are created by administrators in real-time companies. Okay, and after created that username and password, those are assigning to the people who are working in the company as a database programmers. Okay, later with the help of that username and password, they will be connecting to our Oracle database. So that will be happen guys here. Okay, and this is authentication. And now we will see how to create a username password. I will show you guys how it will be created. And the second operation is called as what now? Authorization we call second one. So what does the mean by authorization means here? Okay, for example, your administrator was given your user ID password is created by administrator, and those user ID password the admin was given to you. So after giving that username and password, as a programmer, what we can do, so by using of those username and password, we are login or we are connecting to our database. But guys, a very important thing is what now? Once you connecting to database, it's not like that immediately I can create my table, I can insert my data, I can update my data, I can delete my data, I can select my data. So these kind of operations you can't perform. So why, sir, why we can't perform? Already we log in now, already we successfully log in, already we successfully connecting to my database. Then why we can't perform operations? Why we can't perform operations means, yes. Here the purpose is what now? Suppose you have a username and password and you are login and you perform the operations directly on the database. Again, there is no security. Yes or no? So if anybody hack my username and password, they can log in into my server and they can do everything, means there is no proper security. Yes or no? So that's what that was happened. Even though that means once you have a username and password, okay, you are connected to your Oracle database server. But even though if you want to do any operation on the database, again you require a permissions. So this is called as what now? Step-by-step security permissions are having in the database. So somebody thinking that, sir, once I know username and password, so I can directly connecting and I can directly see my data, I can directly modify my data, or else I can create my own tables, own views. So that means it is not possible. It is not possible. Why? Because, okay, you have a permission only for login, or else you have a permission only for connecting. Okay, you have a permission of connecting only or login only, but you don't have a permissions to perform operations. To perform operations. Okay, now. So then what we want to do? How to get permissions for doing some operations means, okay, so again we required a one more permission we required, that is called a authorization. Okay, that is called as a authorization. So authorization is a one more mechanism. It was going to be used by database administrator to providing, okay, so to providing some permissions to the users. Okay, now, so without authorization we cannot perform any operation, even though we cannot create a table also. Okay, now, even though we cannot create a table also without the permissions. So that's why here what it was happening, guys, here. So authentication is only for login purpose, but if you do any operation, for example, you want to see the data, so without permission you can't see the data. One particular data you want to see it, but you can't. One particular data you want to modify, that modify means either update or delete or insert, you can't do it. That works. Okay, so why, sir, we can't do that work means you don't have a permission of authorization. Okay, now, so that's why how much important was there authentication to connecting purpose or to login purpose, in the same to same, that much important was there for authorization permissions also. Then authorization, what it was telling, guys, okay, it is telling that, okay, it is telling that to verify, to verify, okay, to verify whether, to verify whether a user, okay, a user has a permission, user has a as a permission, as a permission to perform, to perform operations, to perform operations over, to perform operations over database, over database. Okay, now, so authorization, what it was telling, guys, here, to verify whether a user has a permission, as a permission to perform operations over database. So that was telling by authorization. Okay, but this, guys, here observe, these permissions, that means these authorization permissions also, who will give it means, yes, these permissions also, okay, these are, or these are also, okay, given by, these are also given by, who is this here? Database administrator. Okay, these are also given by database administrator. Okay, but how the database administrator is going to be given authorization permissions to the user. Okay, means there are one language was there. Okay, to give authorization permissions, to give authorization permissions to a user, then database administrator, is is follow is follow is follow the following is follow the following commands. The following commands are called as the following commands are called as which commands we are using, guys? DCL commands. Which commands we are using? Called as DCL commands. Okay, I'm using here DCL commands. Okay, now so these are or those are first command is called as a grant command, and second one is called as a revoke command. Okay, now so these are the two commands that database administrator is required for. Okay, administrator required for what purpose here? To provide authorization permissions to the users. So with the help of DCL language commands, okay, administrator, okay, he will be given authorization permissions. Okay, for that purpose he want to use a grant and a revoke. So what is grant and what is revoke means? Simply the definitions observe first of all. So grant command is nothing but in the name only, that granted. Grant is nothing but what now? Granted. So that means permissions are given or permissions are issued to a user to perform your operations. Okay, now right. So now your grant command we are going to be using, guys, here. Which purpose we are going to be use grant command means it is used for, okay, for giving for giving okay, for giving permissions, for giving privilege is nothing but permissions. Okay, for giving privileges, okay, okay, to a user to perform operations on database. Okay, now on database. So this is the first grant command is going to be used for that. But how these permissions are given by the people means there is a one syntax was there for this grant command. How the syntax was there? Okay, here observe. The syntax is, okay, so I'm using grant, so otherwise I will take here better to. Okay, the permissions I'm giving. Grant privilege name on object name to which user. Okay, so which type of privilege, okay, on which type of object, to which user are you given. Okay, now this is what the grant command we are using. And the next one is noise. Second one is revoke command. So how this administrator is giving permissions to the user by using granting command? Same to same. The administrator is also having the privilege or right to cancel your permissions, otherwise to taking back, that means to take back a permission from the user. Okay, now by using of revoke command. Revoke command is used for to cancel permissions. Okay, permissions. Otherwise taking back the permissions are taking back. Okay, permissions from a user. So either cancel permission, okay, otherwise taking back the permissions which was given by administrator. So both kind of things I can do it now. Okay, either cancellation of permission, otherwise taking back. So taking back is nothing but cancel your permissions. Okay, so of a particular user. But how it was? How it was means we have a syntax here. So revoke, and here I will send your privilege name. Okay, on which object name, that object also you have to take now. So object name, and from which user, so user name. Okay, so granting permissions to user. So here observe, granting permissions to user and taking permissions from user. Okay, the point is clear, all of you know. So these are the things, and these are the two commands he was going to be using. And these two commands, okay, so the purpose and definition I was given, guys. But how these two commands we are going to be using, let me see. Okay, one by one I will be show you the step by step how the security will be there. Okay, and first thing is what now? Authentication. First I will show you authentication, how this authentication will be provided. Okay, that means authentication means what now? Creating some new username and password. Okay, now so let you see how to create a new username and password. First we will see it now, and later you will get some idea. Okay, what is the syntax to create a new username and a password? Okay, let me come back here. See, first of all, I need to log in. Okay, see, are you getting my point now? First of all, whenever you want to, okay, so work on your database. See, first what it was asking to me, enter username and password. Okay, now, so without entering username and password, you can't connect it. Suppose you enter username, it was asking, see, so invalid. So invalid username and password. So log on, denied. Okay, now. So it was not giving permissions to you to connecting Oracle. So that's what you said, guys, here, compulsory. So whenever you want to open, see, when I am opening my tool, my SQL Plus tool, if I open, immediately it was asking enter username. So without username and password, you can't connect it. So that point is clear, all of you know? All of you clear or not? Right. Now let you see, guys. First of all, okay, I will go for system user, because system is called as a system administrator. Okay, system administrator, username is system, and password is manager. So first of all, you just are connecting to your database with the system administrator. Through connected. After that, that is my system admin. And this system admin is giving grant DBA means database administrator, permissions to whom he was giving here means to which user? Scott user. So system administrator is giving database administrator rights or permissions to whom? To whom means to Scott. So whenever he was giving the DBA permissions to Scott, then grant is succeeded, and now my administrator, who is my administrator now? Scott is my administrator. From now onwards, who is my admin? My admin is nothing but Scott. Point is clear, all of you? Point is clear, all of you? System administrator giving DBA permissions to Scott. Okay, system administrator giving DBA permissions to whom? To Scott. So that means from now onwards, who is my admin? From now onwards, who is my admin? Come on. Yeah, from now onwards, who is my admin? My admin is a Scott. My admin is a Scott. Okay, now? Right. Let you see. So now my admin is connected. Who is my admin? Scott. Password is Tiger. So your administrator, Scott administrator, successfully connecting to my Oracle. Okay, fine. After connecting to your Oracle, then this Scott administrator is created one new user in Oracle database. So how to create a new user? The question is how to create a new user? How to create a new user in Oracle database. Okay, now? So this syntax, all of you keep it in your mind. Okay, syntax is what now? Create user, and I need to send my user name. Create username identified by, here I need to pass password. Okay, create username identified by password. Okay, right. So this is my syntax. As this syntax, now my Scott administrator is created one new user. So create user, okay, A identified by password A. Let you see. Yes. So my new user is created. So what is my new username, guys? A. Password is what for this user? A. Now you can see. So now the username and password is created by admin. Suppose this username and password, if I assign to a programmer in my company, then the user, what immediately they tried here, suppose you know my username and password, then immediately that user A entered their username and the password is entered. But what happened, you can see, now you don't have a permission to connect, because again the error is showing that user A lacks create session privilege, log on denied. Okay, now, so that means even though once you know my username and password, but still you are not connected. Okay, see, even though if you know my username and password, suppose you hack me, you hacked my password, you hacked my username and password, you hacked me, but still you cannot connecting to Oracle. See how much security. After hacking my username and password also, you cannot connecting to my Oracle. After hacking my username and password. Okay, now. So why, sir? I was hacked your password and the user ID password. I tried your user ID password, but still it was showing that you don't have a permission. So it means what now? Username and password, if you know, you can't do any connectivity here. Even though Then what we required, sir, connectivity means, yes. Here, one very important point is what now? Your administrator is just creating username and password only. But your administrator was not given permissions to you to connecting to Oracle. The point is clear, all of you? The point is clear, all of you? Okay, yes. Then immediately what it was going to be asked here, I need a permission now. Which permission I required? Connectivity permission I need now. So again, I need to request to my administrator. I want to request to my administrator, okay, sir, give me permission to connecting to Oracle with the username A and password A. Okay, so the request you should go and ask from administrator. Okay, now then here administrator, now he will give a password, now he will give a connectivity permission to you. So how he was giving connectivity permission, let you see. Now who is admin? Scott Tiger. Now the administrator will permission. Which permission? Granting permission. What you want to give a grant permission to you, that is called as a connect. Okay, connect to whom I want to give a user. So now what happened? After creating a username and password, later administrator compulsory should give a granting connectivity permission to that user. If he was not given connectivity permission by admin, then user A cannot connecting to Oracle database, even though if you know your username and password. So that's why this is very important. This is called an authorization permission. This is called an authorization permission. So after getting connectivity permissions from the administrator Scott, now the user will be do. Now user is now connecting, okay, their username and password. Now what happened, guys? Now the user successfully connected. Now the user successfully connected now. Yes, now see what happened. Yes, now user is successfully connected. So after connected, suppose you want to change, for example, okay, so permissions are given by administrator to you. Later on, you person is feeling like this. Okay, suppose user A was feel like this. This username created by admin and password also created by admin. For example, this user, he want to change his password. Suppose, do you want to change your password here? So how we can change password means, here observe. So now who was entered here? A user is entered. Then A user immediately what he want to do? They want to change their password. They want to change their password means, yes, he have a right. Yes, he have a right to change password. Then how to change password? Means just entered password and it was asking. What it was asking to you? Changing password for which user? A user. And it was asking to you, what is my old password? What is my old password? A. So now I was entered A. Okay. Now it was asking new password. So my new password is 123. So I'm changing my new password is 123. Again, it was asking retype your new password. 123. And now I entered. Yes, your password successfully changed. Your password successfully changed. Then you have to enter now connector A and by 123 password, let you see connected or not. Yes, connected now. Come on guys, your password is changed and connected or not. Yes. For example, the user A was trying to connecting with the old password A. With old password A, what happened? You can see what it was saying: invalid username or password. So with my old password A, if I try to connect it, showing invalid username and password, log on denied. Okay now. So that's why your password successfully changed. Now new password is what now? 123. Now I was connected. Okay, that's clear all of you. That's clear all of you. Okay, right. So after that, there are 2 points will be come out to us, guys. It's a very important point. So guys, tell me, here I have a permission. That means I have a permission or facility. I can change my password. I can change my password. But guys, tell me, is it any chances we have it, or is it any chances for me to change my username? Can I change my username? Can I change my username? So somebody is saying, yes, sir, we can change. Somebody is saying that, no, sir, we can't change. Ah. So now who said yes? Who said yes? So I'm asking one question to that people. Okay, na? Come on, guys. Suppose you have a Gmail account or Facebook account ID is there. Your user ID is there of Gmail or Facebook or any other. Tell me, guys, your user ID, can you change? Yes, that is the point. So we don't have any permissions. We don't have any facility to change my user ID. To change my user ID, facility was not there. In any Gmail account, in any Facebook, any website, you can see you have a option. Change password option is there, but change user ID option, did you find out anywhere? Yes. So there is a no option for change user ID. Change user ID is nothing but only one thing. You have to recreate one more new user ID. That's it. You have to recreate one more new user ID. Okay. But we don't have to change. Same how we can say that in our Oracle also. So I can change my password, but I cannot change a username. It's a very important point. The first point is what now? Very, very important point. What is your first point means? Okay, password can be, careful observe, password password can be changed. Password can be changed here, but not user name. Okay, username cannot be changed. Okay now, right? So that's why here also what I did, guys, here my username is A only. See, my username is not changed here. Careful observe. I asked password, changing password for A, and old password, new password, retype my password. But later when I connected, you see my username A only. I'm not changing my username A. I'm changing only password. Are you getting my point, all of you? Come on, guys. Are you getting my point? Yes. So that means my username A only. Only I was changed my password. User A password is changed, but username is never. Username is never. Okay now. So that is one thing should be remember, guys. That is one thing should be remember, guys. Second point. Yes, second point is what now? Your username is not a case sensitive. Is not a case sensitive. Is not a case sensitive, but password is a case sensitive, guys. It's very important. Okay, username you can use either capital or small, whatever, but password compulsory case sensitive. So that's why whenever you created your password, carefully observe, are you given capital letter or small letter? So that will be very, very important for remembering your password. Okay, now because of reason, your password is a case sensitive, but not a username. That is one point should be remembered. And the third point is what now here? Your password can be changed. Yeah, password can be changed here. So both people have a permissions to change. Can be changed both. One is admin can change, and also user can change his password. Okay, so password can be changed by both people. Your administrator can change. That person also have a what? Right and privilege. And yourself, you can also change. So here myself, I can change my password. Otherwise, my password can change by administrator also. So admin also having a permission to change a user password, and user also having a permission to change his password. So both people have a rights to change passwords. So these are the three note points, guys. Everyone should be remembered. Okay now, right. After after. So after these points, what happened, guys, here? So finally in this, what we checked out, how to created by administrator one new user, and password, and how to assigning this username password to user, and later he was giving connectivity permission and user is connected. Let you see. So up to here we done, just up to here what we done here, just we are connecting to Oracle. We are just connecting to Oracle. Okay, now you can see that. So after user is connecting to Oracle, now he tried to create one new table. Create a table. The table name is test1, serial number, integer, and some name. Okay, varchar2 of some size. So after a user successfully connecting to your Oracle database, now a user, what he was thinking here, yes, he want to create his own table. So a user trying to create his own table. Then what it was happen, you can see. What it was happen, you can see carefully. Now A user tried to create his own table, right? But what it was telling, guys, careful observe what it was telling. Yes. So what it was telling, guys, here, insufficient privileges. Insufficient privileges. That means, now tell me, user A is created table or not? Okay, it is not created. Why it is not created? Why it was saying that not, you don't have a insufficient, that means it's saying that insufficient privileges. So that means Oracle is what it was telling, guys. What it was telling Oracle to a user, you don't have a permission to create a table. Yes, you don't have a permission to create a table. So that was telling by Oracle. So that is what you understand, guys, here. After connecting to Oracle database also, if user try to create a new table, then it is not possible. Now see how much security now. Okay, can it is possible now? So how much security was there? Are you understand now how much security was there? See, our A user successfully login, successfully connected to Oracle database, but still he is not possible to create a table. So when it is not possible to create a table, he can't store the data. When he can't store the data, you can't update, you can't delete, you can't select, or you can't do any other operations, because first of all, if you want to do operation, first of all, I need to store data. Okay, now, so that is called as a every step by step highly secured will provided by Oracle. Every step by step security, that is called a step by step security roles are there here to get a permissions. Okay, so without that permissions, you can't create a table. Now what we want to do, suppose user A want to create a table, then what he required, authorization permission is required. So who will give it this authorization permissions, guys? Administrator. Who is our administrator in this example? Scott. Very good. Scott is my administrator. Now a user is requesting to administrator, sir, please give me permissions to create a table. Sir, please give me permissions to create a table. Yes or no? So the request is sending to admin by a user. Then administrator will give the granting permissions to create a table. Okay, now. So, but how? How it was giving granting permissions? Okay, so that we will see in Monday session. So Monday we will go for how to creating tables, and later how we can go to insert, update, delete. These all kind of things we will see in the Monday, and later we will discuss about the privileges. How many types of privileges we have it here? What are those? So these all kind of things we will see one by one. Okay, now. So don't hurry, worry. Okay, step by step we will go to check out each and every point. Okay, right, guys. Thank you and good night, guys.